Hello and welcome everybody. We're here with Yoo-Ho on. And what did you accomplish last weekend?
I got top 8 at YCS Vancouver with UNCHAINED.
Very well done. So let's see your deck profile.
Yep. First to my main deck. It's pretty standard. I think it's 3 Aurora, 1 Rakia, 1 Sorama for the level 3s. Then
yes.
For the higher level, just 3 Shavara, 1 Chayama. Then for the bricks, it's 1 Abominable and 1 Disaster. I think that's pretty standard besides the Disaster, but I decided to play that since I only picked up the deck on Thursday, so I wasn't really too sure about the lines of the deck. And that kind of helps with breaking boards when you're like not that good at it yet, or like not very too sure about how to play the deck.
Yeah, it just can help probably, right?
Yeah. Then the other engines, it's 3 Tour Guide, 1 Ride of the Normal Summit, just for combos, it's really good. Then additional extended, there was the Bicycling Requiem with the 3 contracts. It's really good since like an extended that pops a card. It also helps breaking boards while forcing Zeus, which is really nice. Then for these Battle Traps, there's 3 Prison, 3 Pros for consistency, and 3 of each Unchained Trap. It's just really good, and like it's important to have 6 instead of like 5 names, since you have the Vice King as another extender, and having more traps to pop is really nice.
Yeah, you can always pop a trap as well, and then start your plays, right?
Yeah, then non-engine, there's 3 Thrusts, 1 Talons, just really good in general. Thrust generally with the deck, since you can set traps to extend. 3 Eclipse, it's really good going first and going second. And then 3 Imperm. I wasn't really feeling comfortable with running no hand traps, and Imperm is really good going second, going first. Also, you just set it alongside the other stuff, and it doesn't play into the tactics, which is nice. Then for the extra deck, there's 3 Armor. 2 is probably enough. The 3rd almost never came up. Mostly I just banished it for pros. 2 Rage, 1 Mark Cracker, 1 Anguish, 1 Unicorn. I think that's pretty standard. And there's the Abomination. 1 Nightmare Griffin. I basically never made it. I only made it once to like set back a trap, and wasn't actually needed because I just gamed him that turn. And I think I would keep running it though, because it's kind of important into matchups like Branded, where the other monsters aren't like exactly as good, or you don't want to lose against books while also having a Floodgate against them. Then there's like 1 Underworld Goddess. It's important to add some stuff, or like either some bigger monsters or towers, since you don't get that big monsters in this deck. And it's also nice in the mirror since it outs Unchained names without triggering them, and also could negate stuff in the graveyard if important. Then for the XCs,
did you make it once?
Oh, I didn't make it once. I think it could have come up a few times, but one of the reasons I didn't make it was probably also that I didn't have that much practice with the deck, so I tended to go for the more standard lines and like relying on Goddess. But also I played against Zero purely, so it might have never come up because of that.
Fair.
Then there's what XCs, there's 1 Darius. It's important to like, if you get shifted turn 1, you can, with 2 level 3s, you can just go to the Darius. So you have a Machinex with 2 triggers, since it has 3 mats, so you can use it once, suck up a material, and have 2 mats again. So you have like some form of protection. And going second, you can just make Zeus like 2 with the Tour Guide, which could come up sometimes. I think I made that once in the tournament against Labyrinth. Then there's the Caesar. It's the standard turn 1 play. It's really broken, since especially if you play the DDD guy with the contract, when it goes to the graveyard from the field, it adds to the contract, so it has a lot of follow-up.
Yeah, that's just
with
incredible.
The Shavara and the Shyama, so I preferred going for that instead of the Griffin. Most decks can't really play through the Caesar with the Caesar with the Rage and Escape anyway, so I tend to go for that instead. Then there's the Machinex, which just needed with the contract guy, and also against decks like Flu, where the Wave King High Caesar doesn't do anything, I still go for the regular combo and then just slap the mechanics on top of the Caesar. So it has 3 mats, so I can trigger twice. Then this is used in like, especially if the talents can come out against cash, right? Just take their Rise Heart, tag, and then slap a Zeus on top. And otherwise, there's like some niche scenarios where like, if I start with the DDD guy going second, I can pop a card, attack, and then slap Zeus and bait another interaction, which is very good. And then for the side deck, for the hand trick, there's 3 Ash, then Yugioh is just, Ash is really good into a lot of stuff like, which are a bit harder to beat if you, since like Flu or Branded, especially Branded, since the breakers don't do that much against it, and you kind of need some form of hand traps where you could semi-consistently win against it going second. And Nibiru is good against the combo decks, which you might run into like 1 or 2 times. Like my first round, I was playing against Crystal Beast, Invoke Cash. If they went full combo once, they had Appaloosa, Dweller, Mechaba, and I can't beat it with Engine.
No, that sounds like crazy.
Yeah. Then there's a 104 Thrust Herald against like, I side in also into Cash as another Rise App, but it's really important to pick against Purely, since that's the only real Noir out a main play aside from the Goddess, and it just outs random stuff against a lot of decks anyway, since it's a 1-for-1. Then Change of Heart is just really good going second to a lot of stuff, especially the Mirror. Then 1 Duster, 2 Lightning into back row. And like decks that side in and a little of back row, I can side it in.
How many times did you resolve Duster? Since it kind of became a meme.
I think Duster I resolved like once, and Lightning Storm like 2 or 3 times. Like, I think I hard drew that once, and the other times I just dig for it with Prosperity. And then I could just break the board with Engine, since Unchained is really good at that.
And how does it feel to be on the other end of it?
And not being on the receiving end is really nice for once.
Yeah, I would see.
Yeah, and then one Daruma, it's with Thrust. Like, my opponents usually just shift in like the draw standby phase, so they don't play into talents. So I can just go Thrust, set Daruma, which is good into Purely and Arise. But I never drew Thrust when they shifted me, and I never hard drew Daruma, so I never set it the entire tournament. Would have been good if I did though. And then 3 Anti-Spell. It's really good going first, especially when people break in silent breakers against Unchained. Also, one of the few considerations I've made for anti-spells, it's good into harder matchups like Flu, since they have all the breakers and you don't have that many ways to interact with the monster, since like the only thing you have could be the escape to pop a card and mechanics. And if they have any good breaker, you lose most of that, so anti-spell really helps there, since it also stops the consistency for the most part. And it's basically good into most decks going first because of that, like just because of the breakers. That was my deck. Otherwise I would have shoutouts first to Yugioh, because they made this whole trip possible for me. Without that I wouldn't have been able to go to North America to attend YCSs. And also shoutouts to Keon, since he lent me the whole court last second before I went onto my flight. I think without that I wouldn't have even considered Unchained, since I couldn't have gotten the cards last second. And also shoutouts to my new team Luxury Gaming, which are hosting this deck profile. And thanks.
Yeah, nice. Hopefully we'll see you again topping the Cancun in this beautiful scenario we have here. Like, yeah, beaches, it's like everything. Very, very nice to play Yu-Gi-Oh here, right? Yeah, thank you for the deck profile, and I hope you enjoy.